and I were talking last night, and you told a really great story, which I would love to talk about here. But it really highlights one of the, I think, challenges is we talk a lot about diversity and getting diverse people in the door, but we don't really talk so much about how to help them thrive once they're in the workplace, and also how to manage them. And we can totally jump off from the topic of neurodiversity, because when you are thinking about the things that we consider as socially acceptable that we want in a person for a role that may actually not be essential to them being able to do their job well, things to your point, like are coming into the office, right? Like for some people who have anxiety, that may be a cause of stress and roll them out from work that they could otherwise do really effectively. And so I was just wondering if you could share your experience if you feel comfortable.
And I'm also still learning and evolving and recognizing things that um, just turning it off. I'm also learning and evolving and recognizing things that I could have done better in the past. But my co-founder, Dr. Carrie Schofield, when I started Good.Co from my couch almost 7 years ago, and this has just been mostly trial and error, not because I was trying to hire neurodiverse people. It's because I was broke and I needed someone who understood psychometrics. Someone who understood psychometrics and psychology
We're not going
to
give
be
it back
able
to
to
him.
build this model for the future.
He's breaking
And
mics.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me okay? Right.
Diversity.
And I hired Carrie on a freelance platform called Elance, and basically in her response to my to the proposal, her proposal response to my post was she basically solved the problem in it, right? And that was like my first interaction with Carrie. And over the years, I've learned a lot about autism and introverted autistic oddies, as they call them, and extroverted oddies, and they're very, very different flavors and very different approaches. And so what I'm trying to get at is like in Carrie has single-handedly created so much immense value for Good.Co. Because it took me a lot of trial and error, and we had issues, but we've been working together for 7 years. And Carrie's very introverted, and she wouldn't tell you what the problem really is and why. And it took me years to discover what it was. But when I heard a talk recently from Sarah, who's a very extroverted vlogger, very high on the autistic scale, and she very openly talked about challenges. Like she's sitting in a meeting and she's just beating her pen on the table. That's her way of assessing information in a meeting. But everyone around her would be like, wait, stop, like we can't focus. But she's actually already solved the problem that the briefing is about in her head. And that's her way that she consumes information and puts it out, which doesn't fit our institutionalized way of how we expect people to collaborate. And that's something that I learned with my relationship with Carrie too. And we were lucky to have Axel Springer and Subzone allowing us the opportunity to Carrie can work from wherever she wants. Carrie sometimes doesn't leave her 2 blocks of London for months. She likes living in the country. She rarely comes to the office. And at first it was all because Carrie's genius, so we should let her do what she wants to do. Because when Carrie works for 2 days in a month, she creates more stuff than a team of 12 psychometricians can do in a year. So the value to business is immense. Can we put a formula and a pattern around it? Probably not yet. But I think expecting them to be working in a way that's very institutionalized and how we expect high quality work to get produced in organizations today is just not fair. And I think we're losing out on a massive opportunity of hiring neurodiverse people, because if you look at the biggest inventions we use today, there was a very exquisitely gifted, talented, neurodiverse founder who created the technology. And there's like historically so many examples that's encouraged me to go actively seek out and recruit neurodiverse talent, because I need to have a good counterpart in the corporate world for them, but it just creates immense value for business. And I'm unsure why more businesses don't actively seek them out.